everyone. How are you? Well, I am going to go ahead and jump right into it tonight. Hi, my name is Javita. I help single moms overcome the challenges that comes with being a single mom so that she can reduce stress, find time for herself, and live a life full of love and abundance. I am so excited to be with you guys tonight. I missed you last week, but I had some very, very exciting and important things that I had to do last week, so that's why I couldn't make it for Wind Down Wednesdays. But every so often, you got to take a break, step back, regroup, and reevaluate how things are going. So I'm excited. There are a lot of things coming down the pipe for me, and I can't wait to share it with you guys when I'm ready. Well, not when I'm ready, but when it's ready to be shared. But let's get started. Let's jump right into it. So tonight's Wind Down Wednesday topic is building and cultivating your support system. I know as a single mom, when I first moved up here in the area, I had no family. I didn't know anybody. And I was just like, wow, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Because growing up, your family was right there, either a mile or two, just right there across the yard, whatever the case may be. So moving up here, it was kind of like a culture change for me, and I had to really adapt quickly because I had someone depending on me. My son, he depended on me. So I had to build and cultivate certain relationships, and it's important to cultivate these relationships so that you can build your community, build your support community, because it's very important to have that support community, especially when you're a single mom, because it's just you and you're relying solely on you, and your child or children are relying solely on you to get everything done. And sometimes that can be overwhelming and very challenging. So what I had to do was, I'm quite kind of sort of a friendly person anyway, but I went to work, and then I met people at work that stayed in the area, and so I just started asking questions. And there was one person who had actually reached out before I even got here, and he was my lead at the time, so he made sure I was all right. And then there were some other ladies that worked with me that made sure I was okay. They checked on me. I asked them about doctors, dentists, where you get your hair done. That's important for us. And, certain things, and asked them about the schools and everything. But I did my research on the school system here, and it was pretty good. So I did a lot of research up front prior to moving here. However, I still was by myself. I didn't have anybody here with me to help with my child. So as I met people in my daily things I did, like at work and at church and all of that, the different churches that I visited, and just around the area, it was good to build those relationships. So when Jerron moved with me, probably about a year after I moved here, and so I was prepared for him. And so I found a really good daycare, which was down the street from the house. And that's because I spoke to people and I did my research. You have to be willing and open to speak to people and not afraid to ask. Because if you're afraid to ask, then you're going to continue to be overwhelmed with those challenges of not having someone to help you out. You have to make those friendships, build those relationships. Remember in the previous episodes, I told you guys you have to build relationships, build friendships. And there's a reason to build friendships. It's because, you need that support system. So fast forward to, say, high school years, I've already met a few people in the area, started, me a little women's group called my Sister Circle, and they became my extended family. And that's how I cultivated, that, support system. So you have to reach out. My whole point is you have to reach out. If you don't have family close by that can help you, you have to reach out and ask people. But get to know them first, because you're not going to trust just anybody around your kid. So you get to screen them, hang out with them, find out more about them. If they have kids, get to know their kids, because in the end, you'll exchange services. So I had a couple of the friends, hey, I wanted to go out, and I asked them, could you babysit? Girl, let me tell y'all something. Some people even volunteered to babysit for me while I go out. I said, girl, get out, take a break. So I am so appreciative of my support system, my extended family, my circle, because they have helped me out. I remember, like, once I started working up north, oh my gosh, and those who know the DC area, 95 traffic is hell. Oh my gosh, like my commute during rush hour at the height was 1.5 hours one way. One way. So imagine me having to go up the road, dropping him off, go up the road, and have to rush back and be there to pick him up to get him someplace by 5:30. Can you guys imagine that? And that's all rush hour. So it's like I had to leave work 2.5 hours early to make sure I got down the road to pick him up in time so we can make his activities. And oh, not to mention, oh, we got to eat. We have to do homework. We have to do a whole lot of things. However, you know, with me building that support system, they helped me out from time to time, because there were times where I could not leave my work. I mean, I'm in a test environment and I just could not leave. There was an emergency and I was needed. So I got on the phone and I went through my phone tree. Some people were available, some people weren't, and it was okay. But in the end, I got to my child. Someone got to him and got to take care of him for me. And these were people that I trust because I built those relationships. I cultivated it. So you have to just you have to get out of your own way. Shut your pride down. Like, don't be prideful in, you know, these times, because if you need help, and you need to ask. And don't be ashamed of asking, because it doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong, because it shows that you care enough about your child to where, you know, if you can't get there, you can put him in trusted hands, or her, but I'm speaking to him because I have a son. So you guys, you have to, like, you can't be afraid to do that. That is so important, and you have to get out of your own way and get it out of your head. You have to change your mindset and how you think about it. And you get to know the people. Once you get to know the people, you're hanging around the people, you're comfortable with them, you're trusting them, then you'll be able to call them up, hey, I need a favor. It's not like you're going to call them up all the time, but in those moments when you really need it, let me tell y'all, and I told y'all, 95 is crazy. Jerome was in high school. He wasn't driving yet, and I was up north working. He had to be picked up by 6:30. Y'all, I left work. What I told you, I leave work about 2 hours before I need to get to where I needed to be down here. I left work 2 hours, actually 2.5 hours this day. And don't you know, I was like maybe 30 miles from picking him up. But yet I wasn't moving. The traffic was not moving at all. I think there was a major accident and I could not get off. I was stuck. And I got in panic mode. And I waited because I'm like, no, I'm not going to call anybody, because everybody got their families, their kids. They're doing their own thing. I kind of knew their schedule. I'm like, there's no way in this great green earth they're going to have time to go and get my child for me. So I went down my natural Rolodex and got nothing. So, you know, I'm panicking even more, like, oh my gosh. And I'm inching along at this point, but now I'm at like maybe 10 miles away, which should be maybe 10, 15 minutes away. It is 6:15. Yeah, I'm really in panic mode because no one called me back. Absolutely no one called me back. I even called people who I helped out in the past, and like, okay, I don't normally call them, but I'm gonna call them now and see. Crickets, y'all. I'm telling you, crickets. And I was just like in panic mode. And you get like that. You get in panic mode. However, your support system knows that if they see a call from you at a certain time and they know what your schedule is, and they know your child has something to do or have to be picked up, they'll make a way. And I promise you, I got that phone call when I was crossing one of the bridges, but then I got stuck again. I said, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And let me tell you, my friend, and I love her to death, and what she did, she called her husband and she was like, hey, I'm gonna need you to go get Jerron. And granted, me and her husband weren't as close. I mean, we were cool at that point, but we weren't as close, so I wouldn't expect him. I was like, oh, he's not going to do it. Let me just keep moving forward, But, in the end, he did because of my relationship with her. So it's important to build these relationships, because when you build these relationships, especially around you, you have so many people who are supportive of you, who will support you, who will be your circle, your extended family when you're away from your family, that can help you out and step in the nick of time. Or if they can't do it, they will find somebody else that will do it. And they're only finding someone else that they trust with their own children. So you got to keep that in mind too. You can't keep that thing in mind like, oh, well, if you let somebody else do it, then I don't trust you no more. No. When you're in a bind, you're in a bind. But when you trust people and you build those relationships, they're going to take care of your kid just like you take care of yours. And just like they take care of theirs. So I just want you guys to really, really, that was a big challenge for me because I didn't know anybody. I make friends easily, but I don't open up that well to people. So I had to get out of my own way because the bigger picture was I needed to make sure he was taken care of. And I needed the help. I wasn't afraid to ask for the help. So don't be afraid to ask people. Just don't be afraid to ask. Go out there, ask away, build these relationships. They are important for your well-being. I mean, that y'all can exchange and babysit, like you babysit one night, they babysit the next night. Well, you can go and find that time for yourself and have that time for yourself. Because, we're challenged with that. We're challenged with finding time for ourselves. We're challenged, because we're stressed because, if you are working and like me, an hour and a half one way, and you got to get to your kid, that is crazy. And I repay all of them. If they call me and I will. If I can't, I will find a way. Because that's what you do when you have your support system. That's just what you do. So I want you guys to go away with this. Get out of your own way. Continue to build and cultivate those relationships so you can build your support system, build your community. Because as you grow, your community grows with you and they support you in everything that you do. And if you treat each other like family, like you would treat your family, oh my gosh, you will be blessed tenfold to just know that you have, that family away from your family. So get out your own way, build and cultivate those relationships, build your support system. Stop being prideful. It's okay to ask. Asking means that you have strength. It does not mean that you're weak. All right? Well, thank you guys. I love you. Continue supporting me. Share, so maybe I can bless somebody else. If you won't have any questions, please contact me at oh, no, not that one. Sorry. At info@JavitaNMiller.com. Thank you, and I will talk with you later. See you next week, Wind Down Wednesdays. Bye.